It was a side hustle first, actually.
Full side hustle.
Yeah, it was a side hustle for...
Because I know what your definition of side hustle is now.
Yeah, I know, that's bad, that's bad.
This week, I'm speaking to Eni Awoyemi, founder of Feyi Flowers. Eni is a serial side hustler, but a few months ago took the plunge to go full-time with Feyi.
We won't just send someone a bouquet. Like, we want to make sure it really fits with like their aesthetics or like whatever they're going through. We make sure that bouquet is curated for them.
In this episode, she speaks about how she leveraged her experience in influencer marketing, and she gets my advice on how to juggle running a business and my other full-time job, being a mom. What was your biggest first win?
It's only been 7 months. And how do you manage running an entire business and also being a mom? Because a mom is a full-time job. It's actually about two full-time jobs. Even with Feyi, we've sent things out and sometimes we don't get a post back. But within 6 months, you might get a post that you actually thought you were not going to get. But having the right attitude is really important, because if you're upset that they didn't post, you're not actually going to get a post back.
Welcome to Unboxed. I'm your host, Connie, the founder of Astrid and Miyu. In these conversations, I speak to founders, investors, and creators who are all breaking boundaries in their space to discover the person behind the brand and what it took for them to build their empires. Hey Unboxed listeners, this episode is brought to you by Payhawk, a company that we at Astrid and Miyu cannot stop raving about. Remember when we used to waste countless hours on expense reports and spend approval ping pong? Those days are long gone, thanks to Payhawk. No more receipt chasing or drowning our finance team in paperwork. Now we can focus on what truly matters, growing our business. They've helped us create what they call a healthy spend culture. Our team doesn't stress about how, where, or when they can spend, because it's all pre-agreed. Talk about a weight off our shoulders. Are you curious to see Payhawk's gold standard solution in action? Their company cards, app, and spend management platform could revolutionize your business too. Visit the link in our show notes to book a demo. And don't forget to mention you heard about them on the Unbox podcast. A huge thanks to Payhawk for supporting not just our show, but also Astrid and Miyu's growth journey. Here's to smarter spending and time back in all of our pockets. Hey, Annie.
Hey.
Welcome to the studio. Welcome to Unboxed.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for being here. I can't wait to talk to you. I know we've been working since the launch of our flagship home, but we've never gotten to properly sit down because we've been so busy. So I'm super excited about this conversation. But firstly, tell me about yourself.
Absolutely. So I'm Eni. I am in my 30s. I'm a mom to a 2-year-old, nearly 3 years old, but I call her a three-nager because she's around that stage. So my background is marketing. I've been in marketing for around 10 years, and I recently left my job around 4 months ago to basically really focus on Feyi and doing that. I'm kind of someone that you would call a side hustler. I've actually been side hustling for like all my life. Since I was about 18, I've always had a side hustle.
Oh, wow. Tell me about those side hustles.
I've had so many side hustles. I've always known I wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? But I've never actually taken the leap to like do it full time. So at one point I actually owned an entire store which was a side hustle, doing a full-time job.
That does not sound like a side hustle.
It was a side hustle. It was when they said we could all work from home. I can say this now. And I had a store. I used to take meetings in the bathroom and do my Zoom calls and manage this entire store, selling like greeting cards and gift wrap.
What kind of store was it?
It was like a greeting card shop, and we used to do customized wrapping paper. So lots of people used to come in for like custom gift wrap. We used to do that, and it was like really good at one point. But with Feyi now, this is something that I'm really, really passionate about and something I just really want to focus on, especially taking that leap to do it full time.
And what's the inspiration behind Feyi, and how long have you been doing it for? Was it a side hustle first, or did you quit and then do it properly from there on?
It was a side hustle first, actually. It's only been...
Full side hustle.
It was a side hustle for...
Because I know what your definition of side hustle is now.
Yeah, I know, that's bad. No. I started the brand 7 months ago when I was still in my job. And then 4 months ago, then started doing this solely. I basically started the brand because I was looking for a flower brand that I could buy from and treat myself with. And what I found was it was very, very traditional. I didn't really feel like there was a brand out there that resonated with me.
That's what we were talking about, weren't we?
Yeah, especially in the marketing, I felt like it was just really geared towards gifting somebody else, or like for men to gift women, but actually not for a woman to want to gift themselves and like felt
that's
deserving.
interesting because that's exactly the same in jewelry, and that's why I started Astrid and Miyu.
Yeah.
Because jewelry industry was very traditional. It was geared towards men gifting for women, but
Yeah.
for us, like our customers buy for themselves or their girlfriends.
Exactly. And that's the whole kind of ethos around Feyi. We're trying to make flowers also an accessory. So it's like you buy the product and actually you want to go out and you want to take pictures with your flowers, which is really rare.
They are very photogenic.
Exactly.
Very Instagram friendly.
Exactly. And what I found was going online, there wasn't a flower company for me anyways that I felt like actually I'm going to be proud enough to put this in my kitchen table or proud enough to go out with. And it's like Feyi actually does that. You can kind of go out and you want to take pictures with it. You want to share it with your friends. So that's kind of what makes it different.
So what does the team look like? I know like on Instagram, you seem to have a couple of people that are always appearing. You have a couple of florists, you have a social media person. What does that look like? And do you have an office? What does like all of that structure look like?
Right now, it's crazy. I wouldn't actually call it structure. I wouldn't call it structure. We're getting there. We have a studio right now in Hackney Wick, and we have a couple of like full-time florists, like people, I wouldn't say full-time, but like permanent florists that stay with us. And we have a lot of freelancers that come on board when we have like huge events and like really, really like big partnerships. We'll bring them on board. But we have like 2 or 3 key people that are like really in our team. And then we have our social girls as well. So yeah, it's a really, really fun place to work. And we're still building on that team, but I think we'll soon get that structure in place.
And how did you get started? Did you start buying flowers and putting them together, posting on your own? How did that start?
So yeah, I think it pretty much started with me wanting to buy flowers online, which I ended up not buying because I felt like it just didn't fit with my aesthetic. So actually going to the supermarkets, buying 1 or 2 bunches here and there and putting them together myself. And then I thought, actually, I'm going to start a brand where women can actually feel proud to buy these flowers online and get them delivered. So not exactly a florist, but I started, don't tell anybody this.
But they look gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, I started out putting flowers myself, arranging them myself and actually sharing it to like 1 or 2 friends, then using my background, which is influencer marketing, to send out to a few influencers. And people started really loving them, really engaging with them. And we went online and then we actually started selling out to consumers.
And did influencer gifting and marketing actually translate into sales?
100%.
I mean, it worked for me.
Yeah. I think obviously we're in 2024 now, and I think the area of influence marketing is a little bit more saturated now. So you have to be really, really careful with who you use to market your brand. But for us, we go with women that we know that actually really love the brand, or they really love flowers and they love self-gifting, and it does work for us.
Yeah, and I know you are a social media and influencer marketing specialist from your career, right?
Yeah.
Well, what is your approach to that side of the business?
For me, it's really important to build relationships. So everything we do is about relationship building. We won't just send someone a bouquet. Like, we want to make sure it really fits with like their aesthetics or like whatever they're going through. We make sure that bouquet is curated for them. So when they receive it, they feel like, wow, you actually took the time to get to know me before sending this bouquet. And that really reinforces that relationship. And then we're able to build on that a little bit more. So yeah, relationship building is key because we don't pay anyone to post our flowers since we've started.
They're so gorgeous in themselves. How do you choose which influencers or like, I guess, tastemakers to work with?
Oh, that's a interesting one. I mean, for us, it's like people that engage with us. It's crazy. We're so small still on socials, but we have influencers that even if you like a post, I'm like, okay. You like something that we've shared.
Genuine.
Yeah, it's genuine. Or like you're commenting or something. Even if you don't follow us, I see that there's an interest there. So that's kind of how we go about it. And then we kind of look at their feed and see if they fit the brand. And then we'll just reach out in that way.
What kind of advice would you give to an early stage founder who has no background in social media or influencers? What do people do wrong, in your opinion?
I think what people do wrong is
I'm asking because you do all of these things really, really well.
Thank you so much. I think people just expect to get a return straight away. And with me, and even with Feyi, we've sent things out and sometimes we don't get a post back. And that's fine. And for us, it's like, we're like, oh my God, thank you so much for actually, giving us your address and receiving the flowers, even though they haven't posted. So it's been really, really appreciative that actually the influencer might have replied to you. Yes, they got a freebie and they didn't post it. but within 6 months, you might get a post that you actually thought you were not going to get. But having the right attitude is really important, because if you're upset that they didn't post, you're not actually going to get a post back.
Yeah,
Whereas
and she might have it like on her kitchen table.
she might be
have
busy.
friends that are coming in and
Exactly.
asking where it's from.
Exactly.
In real life influencing, right?
Exactly, yeah. So just having the right attitude to go about it.
What has been the biggest challenge in the last 7 months?
Biggest challenge? I'd say scaling the brand. I think for us, we're really young and we're growing so fast. So trying to keep on top of everything, especially for me as a founder, has been really challenging. Trying to keep on top of the marketing, the sales, the staff, like doing all of that in the space of like 7 months has been quite a challenge.
By the time this episode goes out, you will be running a concession in our flagship home.
Yeah.
But now, for now, tomorrow you're setting this up, aren't you?
So in 2 days' time,
we'll tell me about the process, because I think we only told you like 2-3 weeks ago whether you're interested in coming on board, and you just jumped in, like, jump on the opportunity.
Yeah. So as you know, we sent you a bouquet. I think was it 3 months ago?
Yeah.
I'd like to say.
Not that long ago.
Was it not that long ago? Was it like 2 months?
No. I think
August?
it's 2-3 months maybe.
Yeah. So send you over a bouquet
right before we opened the flagship, and
right
then
before
like
we
did collaboration for the opening.
Yeah. So we did a collab for the opening. And you said you really liked the bouquet. You'd love to speak more. That was really like exciting for us. And I think an offer came on the table to have that concession. And we were super excited. And then it fell through. And I was just remember crying on my kitchen table. I was like, oh my God, because we was just so excited about it. But we said, you know what we do best is actually we're going to take use of this opportunity, even though it's just a collab, and make sure it's the best collab that we've ever done. And I think we did that. We made sure we just screamed about it from the rooftops. And
you did.
And we hope that you guys were really happy about that.
Was amazing.
And I think that's so important, because obviously things don't always go in the direction that you want, but actually taking hold of those opportunities and making them in a bigger scale, you can actually get a return. And like about 2 weeks ago, you guys reached back out and said, actually, Eni, we've got opportunity now. Let's do the concession. And that was like, can you do it in 2 weeks? Yes.
Yeah, yes. And then we'll figure it out.
I'm not going to say no, we'll figure it out.
Within the chaos, non-structure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we love that. We love making things
And you also had so many more collaborations since then, didn't you?
Yeah. So we've had a collaboration with Blank Street, opening up their new Birmingham store, which was really exciting. We went over there and we did about 70 bouquets for their store opening. So they did like a community-led event. They had some creators in there. It looked amazing, and it just really fit with their aesthetics as well. And as you know, coffee and flowers go so well together.
And very on brand as well.
Very on brand.
Yeah. I feel like you're so good with content, influencers, but also these partnerships. What's your approach to partnerships?
For me, it's like really working directly with the brand. So like, just with all our bouquets, we make sure they fit the brand, like making sure it's the right aesthetics. You get to know what the brand is. So with Blank Street, actually, we made a blueberry matcha bouquet, and we made the iced coffee bouquet to fit their exact brand. And when people saw that, they knew this is a blueberry matcha, this is an iced coffee. So really fitting in with that brand is super important.
Yeah. And how do you measure the impact of those partnerships? Is it through revenue, or is it through traffic on Instagram?
I think all of that is a mix in terms of success. Like, you want to see your Instagram grow. You want to see people engaging with the Blank Street collab. Actually, we had lots of user-generated content.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
People talking about the flowers, which we didn't expect. So for us, that was a huge success. And then also our sales.
Because it's so grammable.
Yeah, so grammable. And our sales on that day like went through the roof. So definitely, a big success there.
What was your biggest first win?
Oh, my biggest first win. It's only been 7 months, and it's been so. I mean, maybe actually don't want to go. But maybe the Blank Street collab, because they contacted me. So it was like, for me, I'm like, we're actually so small of a brand, and you guys are contacting us to like have a partnership. That was definitely a huge win, because similar to working with you with A&M, that also fell through at the beginning. It was like they wanted to do it. Yeah, they wanted to do it, and they were like, actually, we can't do this at the moment. And then they came back again.
Okay.
So so things always work out.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But even if you look back, it would probably be like the first influencer like posted the bouquet. Like, that's such a huge win. I think we had probably like 100 followers and like and influencers posting. That's such a huge win for a small business.
Yeah. And you say you've only been running for 7 months, but you have been running your businesses or side hustles for a long time. What were some key learnings that you took away to founding Feyi Flowers?
I think starting really, really small. We always want to do everything. So I have had other businesses, for example, when I opened up the store, because I made so much money at one point. I was like, I want to open up a store in Shoreditch and have all these things. But for me, it probably wasn't the right thing to do. So that was a key learning, to be like, actually, let's start off really, really small rather than scale big.
Yeah.
And I think a concession is something that is like really, really on brand and a really, really great way to reach your customers. So
Yes.
super excited for the A&M collab.
Yeah, I'm really excited as well. So like those of you who are listening, please go visit our flagship home in Carnaby and go to the first floor to find Feyi Flowers.
Obviously, I know that you're a mom of two girls,
Yes.
and I'm a mom of one. How do you manage running an entire business and also being a mom? Because a mom is a full-time job. It's actually about two full-time jobs.
Yeah, it is really hard. Firstly, like you need to get loads of help. Do you have help?
I'm a
around you?
single mom, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, her dad is like involved. He takes her on the weekends. My mom is really active, so that's good, but it's still really hard.
Yeah, that must be really hard. So I mean, like I'm not a single mom, but my mom is not around. She's in Korea.
That's hard because my mom is like my husband.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
My husband is like he's a very good dad. He's supportive, but he also has a very demanding job.
Yeah.
So it's always hard. We're lucky and fortunate enough to have had like good nannies over the years. So
I can't wait to get a nanny.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done it without all of that support. Nanny, my husband, and also my mother-in-law comes down quite often.
Oh,
so
that's good.
just asking for help and get any help you can get. I guess you're lucky that you have your mom
I've
around.
got my mom and I've got two sisters as well.
Yeah,
so they need to babysit me.
I guess like family is like really important. Don't be shy to ask for help. But I don't know what else. Like, I don't think there's a secret ingredient. I think you also need to be very strict with your schedule. So be very disciplined about when you start work, when you finish work, and really be efficient. I'm sure you're doing this already, but I think I've become a lot more efficient after I became a mom because I had to be.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I mean, I have a nanny looking after the kids, but she needs to, clock off at some point
exactly.
at a certain
so you have
hour.
to take over.
I need to take over and I need to show up with like energy.
Energy, that's the thing.
Acceptable amount of energy.
You need so much energy.
Yeah. So just guarding that energy and also time, space, I think that's been a huge learning. It's really hard though, as an early stage founder, especially when you don't have like senior manager, like management who can take care of the business.
Yeah, and especially because you just want to be, for me, obviously I want to be involved in all aspects right now. I can't just leave someone to it because I've known you for 3 months. So it's like, it's really hard.
But I mean, ironically, as the business grows, it does get easier. The kid will grow older, but you'll also get
be able to let go more. You have more people.
More senior team. Then you can let go if you're willing to. And then it becomes significantly easier.
Yeah.
So I would say like, for me, when I had kids, like that in-between phase was so painful. But then now it's quite liberating.
I actually thought at one point I asked Melina this. I was like, is the Astrid and Miyu named after your kids? But obviously you created the brand before they were born. But I actually thought at one point they were.
Yeah, Astrid and Miyu is my first baby and my kids are second and third babies.
Oh, amazing.
Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Yeah, just one more question. How do you like manage building your personal brand whilst like being an early stage founder? Because for me, I never look like this on a normal day. I'm like my hair's messy. I'm like trying to get things done. And when I go online on TikTok, I'm seeing all of these founders like showing their days and what they're doing. I'm like, how do you manage to look like this? I can't show myself on a normal day.
I'm the same. So I'm not sure whether, firstly, I'm the right person to ask because I'm exactly the same. I'm in my track pants and my leggings at home. Like I have no time to create content or post things. I'm busy running the business. I think it's only recent, like in the past year, I started doing the podcast because I really enjoy speaking to founders, early stage or later stage, and connecting with people. It was not out of like thinking, oh, I want to build a personal brand for myself. It was more for like out of passion.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had the energy, if I didn't have kids, like I think I could consider it, but that just wasn't my focus. So I'm not sure whether that's the right question to ask.
Because I think nowadays they always say that people actually buy more into your personal brand than the brand. And I'm like, I don't have time to build my personal brand. I need to build the brand. But I think
like authenticity is also resonates
Just
with
need
people.
to show myself looking a mess.
No, but you like whenever I see you, you look amazing. Like
Yes, I don't post those bits, so I need to stop.
or like you can shoot what some people do is shoot like loads of content just in one day, like one or a couple like few hour blog when their kid is in nursery or school.
Yeah.
And then reuse that over and over
Yeah, I
again.
need to
You
do
can
that.
repeat like, you know, you can change outfits. I don't know.
Yeah, show me the content.
But again, like I'm not the best person to give this advice.
No worries. No, it's good. At least I know there's somebody else that also struggles with that.
But I think ultimately, if you need to understand whether the purpose is to build a brand and a business or build a personal brand and fame.
Yeah, exactly.
I think like if I were to choose between the two, if I'm like, you know, if I'm in a dilemma, like any day I choose I'm building a business, but it's because I'm a business person. Some people are different.
Yeah.
Some people are like started out as an influencer and they became a founder, leveraging their audience. I think there's benefits to that, but
it's two angles to it.
Yeah, if you're a founder, ultimately you're a business person.
Yeah,
that's my.
I think that's me.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Is there any advice you'd give to your younger self?
Be patient. I would say, like I've mentioned, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I felt like I had to do it when I was young, which is why I had so many side hustles rather than focusing on one thing. But actually, if I had just focused maybe a little bit more on my career and then actually taking that break, maybe in my mid-20s and say, this is when I actually want to do this, and just had a little bit more patience than trying to do everything at once, I think life would have been a little bit much more smoother.
Very good advice. Thank you so much, Eni. That was so fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to follow the podcast wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow me at Connie Nam, Astrid and Miyu at Astrid and Miyu, and the Unboxed Instagram page at unboxed_founder confidential. See you next week.